Yes, I know. XRP holders right now would be thinking like, what the hell is going on? Because the tweet from Johnny Deaton highlights the current situation, and it's a recent one, right? The evidence is still relevant despite the judge giving us the statement, Hinman's speech is just his personal opinion. If you look at what's happening in the market and what happened in the market just after that speech, you will definitely get the point that market was directed based on his opinion, so-called opinion, right? Now, when we get some negative news or some kind of clouds moving around, what you have to first understand is what is happening on the other side. What is the reality? Because the price is what you pay and the value is what you actually get. So as an investor, your job is to make sure you buy something which has a higher value, right? Now, yes, you do see a lot of negativity coming in, and I really don't even understand what this guy is stating. Because if you literally look at this, the response from David Shaw's, that makes sense, right? Because now he's an intelligent guy who knows what he's talking about. So now some who are in the Bitcoin area, they're in the box, they really don't look at what's really happening outside, right? Because to get that perspective, you need to be open. Here Jake actually gives that opinion. No matter your view on Ripple, two things seems to be clear. Now you need to completely understand that is the truth, right? We are fighting, meaning the Ripple, the company, is actually fighting for the entire crypto community because there is no clarity. Right now, if you are to build something new in United States, you do not have that clarity. And so if you are building onto that project, it's hard for you to get funding, investors coming in and out, they'll all take a step back. That is the only reason that's happening. But as I told, value is what you get, right? So if you are there looking for value when you're paying your price, make sure you understand these are happening in the market. Now, this particular one is actually in detail talking about disrupting the current global remittance industry. Now, this is actually a new one this month. So when you read through this, you are now looking at Remitly. Great. Now you understand the market, right? Cross-border payments. Now you look at who are all talking about this. According to the World Bank, officially recorded flow of remittance reached 700 billion in 2020. Now, if you know, majority of that goes to India. And if you look at the pipelines, the banking pipelines in India, you can understand that Ripple has actually covered a lot in that. Now, if you look at where it's coming from, you can look at like the Middle East, the Europe, and all of the spaces. So when you look at these news, it really gives you that idea whether you agree with this or not. The Bank of International Settlements, IMF, and others know that this technology is valid. No one can deny that because it is disrupting a ton of stuff, and right now they're fighting for everyone. So if you are neglecting this, I kind of agree with this tweet from Wrath of Kahneman showing, I definitely think there are a ton of positive news which is not coming out. Whether it's blocked on Twitter or they're not letting it out, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But one thing is for sure, if you are watching this now, if you are not familiar with this news, I'm going to give you a gist of this. SIX is a Switzerland-based exchange which has a ton of positive sides for XRP and XRP Ledger. So if you go back to the old video or you just type in the SIX exchange and relationships with Ripple and XRP Ledger, you'll see they have not delisted XRP. They have it on the exchange with the issues going on, coming back in, some delisting, some taking it back. All of them actually understand this is some kind of drama happening in US. Now that's the fundamental side of this. So when you actually jump on to the technical eye, you're first looking at the Bitcoin, what it's actually doing in different time frames to understand, okay, what you can observe. Now we are going to go through that detail and give you one perspective which really shows like, okay, this one is going to go down. This one is one chart which shows you, okay, we may have a rally to the upside, right? So we are going to share through that and then discuss about this scenario. When you see Cardano moving to the upside, when the market is slowing down, you kind of get some idea about what is going to happen, because we had this kind of similar pattern happening in this bull market early this cycle, right? Last year from Jan to Feb, March, if you are observing that trend, you'll actually understand this. Jan, we are kind of at the top, we are near that 0.3 mark, we consolidated there, and by Feb we started rallying to the upside. Now if you look at all the other coins, say here we are comparing it with XRP, we rallied but we stayed within that range. So the first rally here for Cardano, then the second one. So if you're observing in a wave analysis, it's like wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. You consolidated long enough. Now you're going to prepare for next one. So you can observe like this one, like wave 1. Wave 2 is going to come in. Now these are kind of microwaves I'm talking about. Now I'm going to give you the detailed description about these and what we are going to look at in the market, right? We need to understand this is going to happen and this is the possibility for you when you're observing these. So guys, stay tuned. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. Now, recently we talked about millionaires and billionaires moving into crypto and stating, I have a massive amount of my wealth in crypto. Now here comes Mark Cuban highlighting 80% of his non-Shark Tank investments are related to crypto. Now, I'm not saying it's completely in crypto coins. It can be in crypto project itself, right? But the idea is they all understand it's here to stay, and there are a lot of them, not just one or two, which are going to compete. Now, regulatory clarity is going to be another step there, but based on whatever we have seen, we understand one thing: the market always get what it wants. Regulations follow up. They are slow. Why? It's government employees. Yeah, they're sitting there watching YouTube or wasting their time, basically. If you look at this particular case in SEC, you will understand that they've been in US from a long time. They've been, doing their business, expanding all over the globe. And now, recently, you can see, okay, by 2020, SEC is like, okay, I want to take this guy down. So, which is kind of a bad attitude. You have like that long time where you are not doing anything properly. And at the end, you're like, okay, someone paid me just 15 million. I'm going to do this, right? So these kind of stuff will always happen. But this, what you see here is the price. And what you are actually buying is the value. So for me, when I'm looking at this is a speculative side of this, but this is the reality. Then you go look at the technology, you understand, yes, the technology is sound and the adoption rate and how it is going is superb. Why? Because we are all looking at central bank digital currency era. We've been talking about this in the one-on-one sessions, right? Say, while we were having this a year back, I was saying this, in 1 or 2 years, we would be completely moving on to the CBDC trials, the pilot projects, and in 3 to 5 years, we are there. Most of the governments would be having the central bank digital currencies. And how are they going to communicate within them, right? So that's where a bridge currency like XRP comes into play. So now, when we are looking at all of this, you're also looking at the price. Now, there are different options for you. You can go look at the return rates and see which coins are turning bullish on the last 7 days. If you understand the trend and patterns, it would be easy for you to take it from here. Then look at it for 30 days, a quarter, a year. You kind of get to understand how these stuffs are changing, right? So that's the return rates. Now we can go to the all-time highs, and you are looking at the all-time highs. How high can I go if I'm gonna buy here and retest the all-time highs? So for Bitcoin, it's 37%, which you are down now. So if you're actually going up, you are kind of doing like a 2x there. Now, 100% there. So you are like your money on 100%, which kind of is not bad, but here you are looking at the Bitcoin dominance, which kind of give you easy idea that chances are super high that you are going to break to the downside. Look at the volume here. It's definitely showing you we are going to go downside. That's an opinion from my side looking at, or at least what I understand here, you got rejected from the moving average, you came back down. Now yes, you definitely need to pass through this one. Why? Last time when you had this green candle, you went up, but sellers pushed the price down to this range and we closed there. Next time we opened here, went up, but again sellers pushed the price down, we closed here, we continued the momentum to the downside. Right now if you observe, we are below this previous open, which is the bottom there, right? So that is bearish. Basically that's bearish on a technical analysis side of it. Now when I'm looking at this, if we are going to break through this to the downside, now we've been waiting for this for some time. It's a wait. Excuse me guys, it's a wait from that May part where we've been consolidating. But you know what happened in April, May? Alt ran up. Now why did these coins run super high? Because we drop like this. So if you understand this properly, like we are going to drop like this, then what's going to happen in the other side of this? That's the altcoin market, the dominance, the market cap. It's going to rise, right? Now you have a pattern which is bullish, but you know, now we are jumping on to XRP, because in the altcoin market, when it moves up, you get to see large cap coins moving high, running hard. Now XRP is one of that coin which you are looking like, okay, right now it's 0.7. That's the price which you're going to pay. What would be the possible value you're going to get? We don't know, but based on what we can see, we are definitely sure that this range has been there from a long time. Now you're looking at this first point to extend this to understand how long it has been valid, and you're coming and ending up here where you're like, okay, this has been a range of resistance. Great. Again, this has been a range of resistance. Now it's acting the same till this point, so the chances are high that you're going to bounce. So if you bounce, yes, you do have the trend line resistance here, and then the moving averages. So if you break through this, the next one for you is like a dollar mark. So you need to reach that dollar mark and break that. Now that's on a daily. Now you can step back, go on to 3-day chart, weekly chart, move out and look at the trend and understand it. This is the trend where you are moving to the upside. Now yes, you don't have that ton of volume here, and usually when you are low, you don't really get that much volume in the market. But when the price slowly takes up that move, that leg up, people come following, running back into the market. In the meantime, they are running into a lot of different coins where you can look at the price overview and you're checking like, okay, which coins are running hard, and they are running behind these coins, thus missing the other ones where they are going to run up. Because last 24 hours people used to look at that, but you do have to look at which coin is down and it still has a ton of fundamental and it's near support. Now you observe that particular coin, and if it's bouncing, you're going to buy into it, right? Say for example, this particular post which we did recently, say a week back, for Ecomi or OMI, I was highlighting this need to bounce from the support zone and move above the moving average and the trend line resistance. So the moving average is here for you and the trend line resistance is this one. Now you go look at that and you get like, we are already up 55%. We bounced, we broke higher from the moving average and the trend line resistance. So yes, charts allow you to understand what is what. Say for example, you are looking at this particular range, it has been long-term support resistance zone, and it turned out that the probability was right. So if you are looking at the same and you're like, okay, fine, is it super long? Yes, till here it's not bad, but if you extend that, you get to see it was valid even here too. But now the problem is, consider this is that range of median. You went high, it was volatile, went really up, and you went low, which was super volatile, right? Because here you made another base here. Then in that bear market, you went even lower. Agreed. So now when you're going up, you are observing the same pattern again and again, right? You had this range. Okay, I'll just delete all of this and give you this perspective. This is support that turned into a resistance, and now we are getting that as a support. So again, that was a medium to long term support resistance zone for XRP from where we bounced. So that's like 500 days worth of that. So if you're measuring the recent price fluctuation to understand this, you're like, okay, yes, around 400 days we have been in this range. So chances are high that you're going to move up. Now, this one I've connected both in the bear market and the bull market. If you're only looking in that bull market, you get to see like around 300 days to 80 days to be precise, right? So now that point makes it like, okay, you're going to bounce. The question ultimately ends like when it's gonna bounce. Now, no one actually know that, but the potential is if you have a downside where you can wick down to 0.5, which is from here like 25% drop, but your upside, if it is 10x, that's massive risk return. So as an investor, you definitely look at what you are gonna get for the price you're going to pay, right? So now, if you understand the trend, if you are understanding what the pattern is showing you, and then you come to look at what the market is going to do. Say this is Bitcoin to Ether chart, where we understand like, okay, the trend is completely moving to the downside. There is no question. Your peak here, then down, 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 right? You came, you retraced, and then now you're following the same trend. You are dropping. So the question about it going up is irrelevant there. Now we can retrace to this level and get rejected from there. That's completely possible. But when you look at the opposite side of this, which is Ether to Bitcoin, you kind of see like, okay, we are close to this one. We broke higher, we came back, we are bouncing. Now when this bounce happens, you're going to run high. So this doesn't look like it's going to be too far from here, because note my words, this actually shows like a corrective pattern where your impulse is completely to the upside, right? This is your impulsive move. Then you correct back down. Now you're going to follow that trend to the upside. So when that happens, the market here is going to be looking entirely different. It would be green everywhere. Question is, how many of them are going to do a lot of green and you're going to be in them? If you want these kind of updates and ideas about which assets are doing fine, which assets are giving you an opportunity and all, we do that regularly in the Patreon. If you want to look at that, you can look at the link provided in the description below. That's going to give you access to all these charts posted, all this time. If you are there, you can look for medium-term opportunities. You can look for the short-term, medium-term, long-term opportunities, depending upon what type of investor you are. So guys, if you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button, which supports the channel a lot. Let's prepare for this and achieve that. I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.